Hey guys, I had my surgery. I made it. So I want to tell you all about it. Okay, so they told me not to eat after midnight, eat or drink. They told me to come up there for 1. I went there for 1. They're like, your surgery's at 4. So find something to do and come back in an hour. So as you know, I went live and I walked around. They said like an hour, hour and a half. I think I was gone for not even an hour, like 40 minutes. They called me while I was on the live. I couldn't answer. I had to close the live and I went in there and it was like, they were like, where were you? We're ready. So I get dressed. They hand me a little Dixie cup with 2 Tylenols, a Zofran for nausea, and a Dilaudid. And it gives me horrible anxiety because I have like this anxiety about drugs, you know? So I looked at it and honestly, I felt like they were giving me poison. I'm just telling you really how it went down. I look at this thing and I'm like, oh my God, I can't put this in my mouth. I'm like having anxiety. The nurse is impatient with me and she's like, bang, look, you know, she's like one of those, you know, she wasn't very sympathetic. She was just like, hurry up and take your pills. And then she brings out, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I'll work on it. I take 1 Tylenol and I'm sitting there like I'm gearing up to take the rest of the pills. She comes out with the contract and it says I'm going to have a breast explant with lift. And I tell her, no, I'm not supposed to have the lift. So then I can hear her telling them, elle s'ostine pour prendre ses médicaments, puis là, elle commence à argumenter pour le contrat, elle dit qu'elle va pas avoir de lift. So basically I can hear her telling them, I'm giving her a hard time about taking the pills, and now I'm arguing about what kind of surgery I'm going to have. So the surgeon comes in, and as soon as he comes in, I feel very reassured. He knows why I don't want to sign it because it is inaccurate. I'm not having the lift. We changed the plan. So he's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. As soon as he comes in, I was so reassured to see him that I felt okay about taking the pills, believe it or not. He goes, well, listen, you're going to have to take those pills because we got to get this going or we're going to cancel your surgery. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll take them. I don't know what it was about his presence, but that nurse just like made me feel more edgy because she was kind of pressuring me. But as soon as he walked in, there's just something about him, and I just took all the pills and I was like, it's going to be fine. So he did that. He marked me all up. The anesthesiologist came in. He was super cool. He was great. Everything went really well. He put in the IV line in my hand where I asked for it. He did it, like he didn't argue with me. He was just super cool. I was like, please put it in my hand. And he just did that. Then they brought me into the surgery. They put me down and there was like these 2 like plank things, like these platforms coming out. So I can't lift my arms now, but basically I was on there in like kind of crucifix sort of shape with my arms out. And for a second that was really freaky because it reminded me of like when they do the lethal injections, and I was like, Sonia, don't start tripping now. Super nice anesthesiologist is there. He's reassuring me. He starts putting the drip and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm going to La La Land. Ain't no turning back now. Sure enough, I went out to La La Land. I woke up and you know, my first feeling was so much relief that it was done. It was over. They were out. I like immediately had tears of relief. I just had my surgery. I was so glad he took them out. I'm so grateful. I'm so glad. God bless him. God bless him, Dr. Nicolai. I'm so glad he took them out. I wanted them out for so long. The weird thing was the front wasn't hurting, but the back was. My back was hurting. Like the muscles in my shoulder blades. J'ai sur le dos, ça fait trop mal.
C'est reculé un peu, genre.
Pourquoi ça fait mal dans le ventre? Ici, là. Pourquoi ça fait mal ici?
Oui, mais vous avez rien ici. C'est à cause de la chirurgie.
Mais comment que ça se fait que ça fait mal dans mon dos?
Mais parce qu'il travaille beaucoup, ça touche à tous les muscles en dedans.
Oh my God, she gave me fentanyl. I feel so fucking woozy right now from the fentanyl. Oh god, that fentanyl. Oh my god. Feels really weird. I don't know why people take that garbage to get high. It feels terrible. And I posted a couple pictures from when I came out. I was all super foggy. Then I had a few tears. And I posted a picture of the implants. They took them out en bloc. He managed to get these things out with because it grows a capsule around it. And en bloc is when you remove the entire thing with the capsule. You don't deflate the implants first. You don't cut into the capsule and remove it. He managed to take these things out, and it's crazy because they were like stuck to my rib cage. And so the scary thing was that when they're, I mean, how do you take out, I have them here, I'm going to show them to you. How do you take this thing out and scrape it off my rib cage without puncturing? Because that's the biggest risk from this, is the pneumothorax, where they make a hole into the space between your ribs and your lungs. He did it with no issues, no pneumothorax. I was very impressed. He got them all out in one piece, like I said. They look pretty gnarly. And they put me on a ventilator though during the surgery, and I'm really glad I was out for that. But so now my throat is a little bit sore. But yeah, they like intubated me and put me on the vent. Oh my god. But they do that like just to make sure you're maintaining all your functions or whatever. So all that happened while I was asleep. I woke up implant free, very happy. I guess I'll show you what they look like. So these are the damn implants. Oh my god, they are so heavy. No wonder I couldn't breathe. First of all, the capsule was stuck to my rib cage, and your breathing muscles cannot even expand properly when there's this thing like stuck on it, holding it all together. And plus, I wish you could see how heavy they are, man. They're really, can you imagine having this on your chest all the time? This weight? No wonder I was out of breath all the time. I feel like I can breathe a lot better since they're out. But yeah, like having this weight there and having your muscles like stuck together with this capsule, definitely, I think it was impeding my breathing. But look, they're intact. So they're not actually that big, you know? There's women get way bigger implants than this. Can you believe this was in my body? But look, they're clear. There's no floaters in there. Well, are there any floaters? I heard that after they've been removed from your body, the salt in the saline will start to crystallize. I don't know if that's true. But for now, like, they're floater free. There's no mold, as you see. There's nothing growing inside them. They're not like a funny color. They look totally fine. And you know what's crazy? Of course, what did I do when I got them? I smelled them because I wanted to see like if they had like a weird chemical smell. They totally do. They smell like all kinds of chemicals. Oh man, I cannot believe. They smell like plastic. Like a really strong, like old plastic smell. I can't believe this was in my body. How much was this poisoning me? So disgusting. They don't tell you, like, when you get them. Like, I guess when you're young, you don't really think about it. I'm having these plastic bags sewn into my body. What will be the consequences down the road? I didn't really think it was a big deal. At the time, I just wanted my boobs back after my bad reduction. But I definitely would not recommend anybody doing this to themselves. I'm thinking about all those trans people too. Like, they all get implants. Good luck with that down the road. Anyway, so the implants are out. I want to show you my chest. It's not bad. Like, I do have a bandage on, and the bandage is adding like quite a bit. Like, without the bandage, I'll be like this. Okay, so I still have boobs. I'm not flat chested, but they'll be smaller after. I also have drains. I'm not going to show you the drains because of YouTube and their whole thing about like, oh, blood and guts and gore and whatever. But I just show you like the top of it. So I have drains like hanging down from here, like attached to me, and I have this thing on underneath that's like holding me together with my bandage, and then the drains are there, and it's about 25 milliliters of fluids, blood, that I have to drain. I drained it once yesterday, and the left one there was nothing in it. Left one was totally fine. The right one, I drained 25 yesterday, and then I drained again 25 on each side today. And I actually wonder about the left one because there was nothing in it at all. And I said to her, "Is that normal? Left one's not draining." She's like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's good." And then I got up and I must have done something where I moved my arm a certain way, and I guess I sprung a bit of a leak and it started draining. I was a bit worried, but the amount that it's draining, I think it's okay. Woo, I think it's up to 50 now. So I guess it's draining more, but it's okay as long as it's not like filling up multiple times per hour. She says it's fine. I need to really take it easy. I can't lift my arms outward or upward or nothing. I can move like this. That's it. So I want to tell you a little bit how the recovery was. I have to basically like wear this whole getup with this thing under and these bandages that I have and the drains, and like I can't even wash under my arms. I can't put deodorant. I can only like wash myself with baby wipes or a washcloth basically for the parts that I can reach. Obviously I won't be able to wash my hair, so I'm going to get pretty grungy. So it's basically like an entire week where I can't really wash myself. And then they're going to take the drains out, and I'm going to get a compression bra. Next week I'm going to start wearing it, and at that point I'll be able to take showers. I have not seen my boobs. I don't know what they're like. I like they feel kind of tender here, and I like the fact that it's empty because this is where the stupid implant was, and I'm so glad that this is flat now. Oh my gosh, it's going to look so much more normal. Like no more giant bumps up here. Horrible. And yeah, it's a little sore here. And it's sore underneath. It's like it feels sore like where my ribs are. But let me tell you about yesterday. So I was very like woozy when I came out of surgery. Somebody drove me home, and I felt like not really a lot of pain, but I felt very parched. Like the anesthesia gave me an extremely dry mouth. I started drinking water and I needed nausea pills. So I think that the anti-nausea Gravol was adding to my thirst, and also whatever was in the anesthesia. And so I was drinking a lot of water. And oddly enough, it wasn't like going through me. I wasn't really peeing it out. And I just kept drinking, sipping water, sipping Gatorade because I felt so parched. But it was like a thirst that's coming from inside from the medications. And that stuff they put me under, whatever it was they used, I could smell the anesthesia on my breath. Like I could like taste it when I would breathe it out, and it had like a chemical taste. So I was like full of chemicals from the anesthesia. And so yeah, sore throat from the intubation, and super dry mouth, and I'm tasting the anesthesia. And I started feeling nauseous, you know, so I was taking the anti-nausea, but I kept drinking. And then during the night, this just got worse. I can't sleep. The nausea is so bad. And, you know, I'll take the Gravol, but it doesn't fix it. I made the ginger tea, but like drinking more liquid makes me feel more nauseous. I tried everything. I feel so fucking sick. It's horrible. I'm not really in pain, but I feel so sick. I'm cold, like chilled. It's a really rough night tonight. I woke up at night and I was feeling so nauseous. I was like, well, I felt like really unwell. My friend Isabel was here, thank God, because she was helping me with whatever, because I couldn't move my arms. And I was really glad to have her here just in case anything, you know. And so I kept getting up and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. And I took more anti-nausea medication and it didn't help. And then finally at 2 a.m, I just spewed. I like vomited into the sink, like jets of water, like blah, blah, like all the water just jetting out of me, and like, like just, I puked up all the water and Gatorade that I had been drinking for like the whole evening. And it was like it never went through me. It just like sat in my stomach. And I guess it was making me feel nauseous. So I realized like I'll have to have a dry throat. I can't drink all this water because look what happened. But after I puked, it was like the best puke of my life. I felt so good after. It wasn't like when you're sick and you're vomiting and it just keeps coming and you're nauseated. It was like that water was what was making me feel so bad. It was out and I was like, oh, I feel so much better. Like $1 million. I went back to bed. And then I just like drifted off and I slept it off and I woke up at like 9. I feel good. Like I feel like I can breathe. Like I said, I feel like I have more color in my face. I actually feel like hot. Like my whole body feels like warm to the touch, which is, it's a bit weird. Like I feel like flushed. I don't know what that is. I don't think I have a fever because I don't feel unwell at all, but I feel really like warm, like all over. But like look at my color. I have so much more color. My lips before were like super pale. It's like there was like all the blood was drained from my lips. And that's what I noticed today, that they look like they have color in them. And it's hard to explain. Like I feel last night was rough. So I feel a bit like, from the surgery, a bit tired and yes, achy here. Like now my ribs, like under here, where this is where they cut it, like in here in the ribs. It does hurt, but honestly, it was way more painful when they put them in. Like the last time I took any pill was yesterday. I didn't even take anything today. I think that the anesthesia kind of like has a lasting effect, and then I figure like when it wears off, I'm starting to feel pain here, but I don't know, man. Like I'm just not in that much pain, so I didn't take anything. I'm probably gonna have to take something at some point so I'll be able to sleep though. But yeah, it's not that bad, honestly. The worst was the horrible nausea all night. That was terrible. And the dry mouth. Pain-wise, like, just a little bit sore. It's really not that bad. Anyway, I'm super glad that they're out. I'm glad that it's over and I got through it. I have to just keep emptying these drains. And, I mean, they said, like, if you get through the first 24 hours, you don't have any issues, it should be fine. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for all your support and your prayers as I've been going through this. I've been having issues with fatigue and pain for a long time. As you know, I felt like my health was just deteriorating all the time. I was just getting like worse and worse every year. And I had heard about the breast implant thing, but I kind of like didn't really think that was it. I've been going to doctors for the last 10 years, telling them like there's something wrong with me. And they're just sort of gaslighting me. Like I'm just like looking for attention, or I'm some kind of hypochondriac. And I'm like, it's not normal, this level of fatigue and like this constant pain. And they're like, well, you're getting older. But like I said, like the level it was at was not normal. You can't say it's just from getting older. But I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Nobody could tell. It's like fibromyalgia symptoms, chronic fatigue. And so I revisited the breast implant thing for some reason. It came back on my radar and I was like, maybe it is the breast implants. I think I came across, the page with the symptoms and all that stuff. And I was like, maybe that is what it is. Maybe I should really get these out. I called the doctor right away. I had a consult within a few weeks. That was in February. And look, here it is, April 21st, explanted my implants. That went really fast. It was like, once I was like, yeah, I want these things out. This is probably what it is. It moved so fast, So anyway, I'm very grateful that it's over. He did a great job. I don't know what they look like, but I don't really care. He made me sign a thing that I was not going to like post pictures of my boobs online showing after that it looks bad, because I had chosen not to have a lift. I wanted that. And he like wants to make sure that I don't like put this out there and go, oh, look at the job he did. My boobs look terrible, because that was my choice. I told him, well, come on, you got to let me show the girls in the group, because some of them don't want a lift either. So like they want to see how it's going to look without a lift, but I'm not going to like, bad mouth him, or I'm not going to try to make him look bad. I just make it clear like this was my choice. So I'm kind of like, how bad are they going to look? But I honestly really don't care. And the fact that like when I touch them I can still tell where my nipple is and like I have all the sensation, I'm really glad about that, because when I had my reduction and when I had my other lift, I lost all my feeling in my breast for like so long, and it was a downer. And then when it came back, all that came back was pain. So I really didn't want to go through that again, and all the scars and everything. It's fine. Leave my old titties alone. Let them just do their thing. We're calling it the waterfall look, the like where they're kind of low and they kind of splash out here. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going for the little perky. It's not natural at my age anyway. I'm going for the waterfall look. Hopefully they just won't look horrible, but I don't think so. I mean, from here they seem to look okay. My cleavage looks fine. They look pretty nice from what I can tell. He says he tucked them in a little bit. I'm fine with it. I'm so happy that they're out. Thank God. And again, thank you. Thanks for all your prayers. And I guess that's all I have to say about this right now, but I'll keep you updated. Thank you for like coming with me on my journey here. And if you're looking to get your implants out, well, I wish you the best of luck and I hope you're able to get them out. And I'm guessing you'll probably feel a lot better and you'll be relieved when they're out. And so I'll pray for you that that would be possible for you as well, because I know some of you out there, you also have them and you want them out. So that's it. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining me in the chat. And oh, thanks for joining my Patreon. Thanks for all your support on there too. And well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.